Moving right along, ladies and gentlemen. This gentleman is well known in the Columbus community. You heard his name just a little bit earlier. We'll bring up this man of the hour, Benji Burke. He's going to have a conversation, ladies and gents. He's going to introduce our man of the hour.
Good evening, good evening. Today we got a chance to hear from that's your phone, Brian? See that? He just said put on vibrate. We got a chance to hear from a 14-year NBA legend, an all-star, a lottery pick at number 2. Talking to him, he should have been number 1 over Larry Johnson. I agree. Because Charlotte needed a point guard at that time. We also have a college All-American. I mean, he did everything at Georgia Tech in just in 2 years. He also was a high school All-American, the only point guard and player to ever play varsity as a freshman. Didn't start, but made first team All-City, which is crazy to me. So I had a chance to speak with him today. He's humble. He's ready to give you guys some of the information and things that he's doing now. So without further ado, Mr. Kenny Anderson. My guy.
My guy.
Good?
Yeah, great.
Good.
How y'all doing out there? All y'all. Hello. That's it.
We're gonna start off by share a little bit about, how you got started in basketball, where it came from, where that drive came from. Also, he's from Queens.
Queens.
So, they call him the point guard. So let's hear where it came from.
Well, it came from just playing basketball. My sister, Danielle Anderson, when I was 6 years old, just babysitting me all the time. She used to take me to the park. So I used to cry for the basketball when the guys was playing. They used to kick me off the court and all that. So it started way back when. And it just kept escalating. And, started out at Archbishop Malloy High School in Queens, New York, Catholic school in Queens. And the 9th grade, so freshmen wasn't allowed to play on the varsity. So I tried out for the team and I made it. But the coach, I remember this coach brought me in the office. He said, "You're not gonna start, but we'll love to have you on the team." And I was so excited. I ran home, told my mother. It really didn't matter to me if I played 5 minutes. I was on the varsity as a freshman, and it never happened in my school. So I sat out. I never played the first quarter. I only played 3 quarters, and I won the championship that year as a freshman. And I'm still connected to my team. And it was just and that's when it all started for me. I was 15 years old, and 86 as a freshman, in New York. And that's where, I became, Kenny Anderson, sort of, I don't like the great Kenny Anderson. Me and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar jerseys are in the Hall of Fame, high school jerseys. So it was a big accomplishment for me, and something I would always remember. And then I went on. I thought I was going to win as a team 4 city championships, but we won 2, and we lost my junior, senior year. And then I went on to Georgia Tech in Atlanta. I was recruited. I had tons of letters. I could have went anywhere in the country, but I chose Georgia Tech In Atlanta, fell in love with Atlanta, fell in love with Georgia Tech, Coach Crimmins, because he's from the Bronx, I'm from Queens, so we connected. And he connected with my mother. It was just a great thing for me to be down there. And then I kept winning. We kept winning. We went to the Final Four. We was in the Final Four in 1990 against UNLV.
Yeah.
We lost to the Larry Johnson, Stacey Augmon, Greg Anthony. But you know, we lost, but we was up first half by 7 points.
Okay. You remember
I
that?
got in foul trouble. That's why we lost. Right? But you know, we lost, and from there it just went on, and I got drafted in the NBA. I got drafted number 2. I was the number 2 pick in the 1991 draft. Went to New Jersey Nets. It was remarkable making it to the New Jersey Nets, to the NBA. And I remember the draft night. So the bus, it was at the Madison Square Garden. Mm-hmm. I didn't take the bus. I walked because I'm from New York. So I walked the garden, it was a few blocks, but I had to soak it in. And I seen all my fans was on the street. It was like, Kenny. It was just it was just something I will always remember. And I got drafted and went from there. Played 14 years in the NBA. Made the All-Star team in 1994. I was in Minnesota. So my basketball career has been great. It's been great, man. It's been great.
So mentoring,
Yeah.
I know that's in which some things that you're doing now. So can you expand on that?
So, you know, when I coached 5 years for Fish University in Nashville. So it was, and I loved it. I loved the experience.
You like Nashville?
Yeah, I love Nashville. Great town.
Yeah.
Great town, and coached there for 5 years. And I always wanted to mentor because my high school coach, Jack Curran, rest in peace, he died about 15 years ago. And I saw what he did for me. So I just wanted to give back. And not just basketball, but just teaching these young men or women the right way of life. You don't have to be a basketball player, a soccer, football, doctor, dentist, mechanic. You can be anything you put your mind to. But it's just, I think a lot of times it's just our environment and how we've been brought up. And fortunately, I had a great mentor. Fortunately, I had a great mentor and lived in New York at a bad time, drug infested in the 80s. That's when it was crack. It was high in New York. And I didn't want to go to prep school, so I wanted to stay in New York. So, you know, my mentor, you know, Kenny Smith, Vincent Smith, those are my people who really I looked up to and who created that in me.
Kenny Smith that's doing TV now.
Yeah, he works with Charles Barkley, Shaq, stuff like that. That's my family. And it's funny because he went to the same high school and he had like 200 trophies. And I used to go up to the house, Vincent, after working out, and I told him, I'm gonna have more trophies than you. I'm gonna have more trophies than you. And I did. I did. He went to North Carolina, so everybody thought I was gonna go to North Carolina, but you know, nah, I didn't want that. You know, I wanted to go somewhere where I could be me.
Where was your first pick to go?
Yeah, my first pick was Syracuse University. I wanted to go to Syracuse University.
And who was there if you would have went there?
Derek Coleman. It was Billy Owens, Derek Coleman. I would have been there. I loved it. I love Syracuse because Pearl Washington went there. So it was a goal of mine when I made it. But you know, my mother, you know, it was kind of interesting because I went to visit Syracuse on my own. My mother came with me to Georgia Tech, so I didn't understand. But so one thing leads to another. So when I went to the visit, with my mom, and we was coming back on the plane, she was like, "You're going to Georgia Tech, period. I don't want to hear nothing." So I went, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure about it going there.
So with Bobby Crimmins being the head coach, was he a New York Connect? Or how did they even get in the picture?
Yeah, he was a New York Connect. You know, he's from the Bronx. He went to All Hallows High School and everything, so he was big. But one thing about recruiting, you always gotta be there. He was there every day. He was in my face every day, and I used to see him. I used to like, wow, you know. But he's a great coach, a great mentor. He saw something in me that that I didn't see in myself, and he pushed me. And you know, I played with Dennis Scott, Brian Oliver. They named us Lethal Weapon 3. So it was a great time for us. We went to the Final Four in '90, so it was a great time.
So with all of that you went through, what's one thing you would change of your journey? What would you change in your journey?
Oh, that's my journey. Well, we in here. I gotta be honest. My journey has been great, but I think I would have been a better father. Better father.
Okay.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Hello. Yeah.
Seemed like they went out.
Yeah, it went out, but yeah, I'm gonna get deep with it.
You good?
Yeah,
You good, bro?
that's the only thing. You know, being a father, having multiple kids with different women. I see it now. I'm older and I realize it.
Yeah. It's all good.
You know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Test.
Yeah.
Okay, we
Yeah.
keep going off of one. So, you know, we got any questions, first of all? I know we got some coaches, some mentors,
Yeah.
some leaders, somebody. Okay, we got one out there. Charity Vi, you stood up? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we got one
Yeah.
right here. I got it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going out. Oh, he.
My name is Elijah Bland. I graduated from Academy for Urban Scholars. I was a basketball player there. You have an amazing thing with all these people doing success that's considerably around you, and there's a lot of things that you do and the mentality that you have to be able to do those things. How did you stay so strong throughout the rest of your career?
Yeah, I stayed strong. My mentor, Vincent Smith, and I think my mentor, Vincent Smith, and my mother, you know, and I just wanted to be better. You know, I come from Left Rack City, the hood, and I just, you know, I went to school at a Catholic school. I had to take tests to get in there, got in there, wanted to be successful in school and then basketball. And one thing, it's funny, I just always wanted to buy my mother a home. That was the thing. I just wanted to buy my mother a home, and I bought my mother a home, and it was just a great moment in my life because we, you know, bought my mother a home. My mother lived a great life, and so I did it. So now I'm just trying to work on myself and my family and the people that look up to me. You know, that's young men like yourself, women, just trying to give them some strong words of building. You know, building. If, like I said, if you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, you can do it if you put your mind to it, and that's what I did.
I truly say you're an inspiration.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody else got any questions? Mike?
Yeah, I don't. My mic is they killing my mic. Yours is wrong with it. Yeah, they kill it now. Yeah.
Sheridan Martin King. I have a question for both of you. Okay? I want to talk about fatherhood and athletics. Okay? And you know, you were one of my dads. I coached your daughter. Yeah. But I want to talk about the importance of fatherhood and athletics. Can y'all speak to that?
Yeah, I'll let you start it.
I had the opportunity to have two kids that played, both of them played basketball. And it was crazy because the way I pushed Trey, I couldn't push my daughter. So I figured that out early. I think if I would have used the same method that I did with Trey, with Amani, she wouldn't even have played. She would have stopped playing. So it's a different approach with your baby girls. It was just a way different approach. But when she got to high school, it was like I was there because Coach Vi was tough on her anyway. But it was just a different approach, at least from my household.
Well, I wasn't, with my wife, we have two kids. So my son, you know, I was soft on him because I didn't want him in the same environment I was. So I took him out of it, and that was the wrong thing to do. Okay. I should have pushed him his last year, he went to school in the hood. Okay. The hood. And he loved it. He loved it. I wasn't sure. Right. I was like, he should have been there for 4 years. He would have really turned out good for his basketball and school, but I was a little soft on him because I saw how I grew up, and I didn't want that for my kids.
Okay. Hello, my name is Deanna. Shameless plug, I work for Financial Services in our mentoring department. So you talking about your mentor and how the impact that it had on you, that's really good to hear. And also shout out to the 100 Black Men Coalition because they actually jumped on board to help our African American boys that have a relationship with our agency. So thank you guys so much. My question to you, Mr. Anderson, is what was the impact that your mental health had on you as you played in the NBA? And like, what did that also look like too, like with your relationship with your mentor?
That's a good question. That's a very good question. Mental health is serious now. I had been through problems and things of that nature. I got help by my mentor, asking him certain questions and doctors and things of that nature. And I was able to see it. I was able to see it and correct it at an early age. But now parents, you want to sugarcoat it. You want to sugarcoat it. And I think you got to just bear down and just with your kids and be forceful. If he needs that help, you got to give him that help. You know, as far as they got doctors, they got clinics and things of that nature where you could get the help. But just ignoring it, it's not a good look. You can ignore it. You got to help your kids. And with the way the world is now, you got to be there. You got to be there for them every step of the way. It's just crazy out here and it's dangerous, and you gotta be aware.
The NIL.
Yeah.
So if you had NIL when you was in high school and college?
I wouldn't have had to play no more. I would have made all the money. I would have, no.
But what's your thoughts on the NIL?
It's great. It's great for these kids, but they got to have some type of control. The taxes and the things of that nature, they got to get paid, because I wanted to get paid when I was in college, and all the ball players should have got paid, because we bring in those universities a lot of money, and we ain't getting none of it back then when I played. So you definitely got to get your money, but I think it's got to be some more some control over that matter. You know, as far as put it in an account, and then they can get it. They can eat off it. As far as, you know, if you need something to eat or just throughout the course of being responsible. But I think you got to control it because nowadays, now these kids driving cars, jewelry, just spending all the money and just going crazy, and that's no way. You know, after 1 year, you making what, 100,000, and then you don't have any money left.
Right.
That's not durable.
Okay, Kevin, I'm gonna ask. I see you. Kevin Pace keeps wanting me to ask this question to you. LeBron or Jordan?
I'm a Jordan dude. I get
Why?
that question. I get that question all the time. You know, I happen, be fortunate to play against all of them. Jordan, LeBron, Kobe. I played against all of them, and just Jordan. I'm just going to go with Jordan. And then with me, I'm like, Kobe and LeBron is like neck and I just really, I'm picking Kobe and then LeBron. In my era, my son likes LeBron because he don't know nothing about Jordan.
Right. But he wear them though.
Yeah, he will. Yeah.
Let's ask this in a different way.
Yeah.
Who's had the greatest career ever as an NBA basketball player?
Individually, scoring and points and everything is LeBron. Individually, that's you can't hide that. He beat out. I never thought Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record would be broke, and LeBron broke his record. I couldn't believe it. I was like, whoa. But individually, I'm still stuck on Jordan. He don't want to be done. He just keep.
He done.
He done. Yeah, he done. He just getting records now.
He lay flop now.
No, he's a great player. He's awesome. He's awesome player.
So, Kenny, I do have a question. But
Yeah.
You got me involved in this. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh, there you. Okay.
Yeah, everybody, I see you. See, I want to see where you gonna pass.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got a question. But I'll say this though, because just like you said, your son now. So, well, first of all, thank you for what you're doing.
Yeah.
You say all that. And
Oh.
I appreciate the stop and go and everything.
Yeah.
He was trying to do all that.
Yeah.
But just like you said about your son, there's Oscar Robertson and there's Will Chamberlain. And nobody has did the triple-double like Oscar Robertson.
Yeah,
We talked about career.
Yeah.
And nobody's changed all the rules like Will Chamberlain.
Yeah,
I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah. I don't.
My question is this.
Go ahead.
The portal. Because I know you guys came along, y'all put a lot more excitement in there, started
Yeah.
selling shoes,
Yeah.
everything else,
Yeah.
all of that. So what did the schools, everybody was making money.
Yeah.
But what about the portal? How do you think that impacts the game now?
The portal is bad somewhat because I believe they should. Now, a kid that doesn't like his school, that's too bad. But if the coach leaves, he should be able to leave. But one you should be able to go one transfer, one, and then that's it. You know, they transfer every year. Whoever gives them a bigger bag. It can't be all about money. It just can't.
And we had the city here when we transferred.
Yes. I was
Yeah,
talking.
so when nobody
So
transferred.
nobody. Yeah.
Plus you got 5 years to play before. Now they only get 1 year scholarship.
Yes.
Used to be different.
Yeah.
You had 5 years to play before. Now they only give you 1 year.
Yeah.
So they get rid of that.
Yeah. So it's just
That's,
it's just now these guys are minor league. They're NBA players, minor league. So you gotta be able to play, or they cut you. They see how you play the first year, and if they don't want you, they get another you or whatever. So it's
I'm
just
glad they getting paid.
yeah. That's one thing I'm happy about. The kids are getting paid, but we got to somehow try to control it on how their money is being spent.
Who was that one guard in the NBA that you had problems with?
It's three. I always talk about this.
Okay.
Allen Iverson, Kevin Johnson, and Tim Hardaway. Those are the guys. And I talked to those guys and I told them. But Tim Hardaway and Kevin Johnson, for like 2 years, they was killing me. Then I said, I gotta get over the hump. And then I came back on them. In my third or fourth year, I was up there. I was good. But that's what they made me do, man. They was beasts. They was awesome.
Nick Lowry, did you have your hand up?
Yeah.
Over here, Benji. Oh.
I kind of wanted to go back a little bit.
Yeah.
I know we as Black people are reaching ultimate levels of success now,
Yeah.
especially yourself. How do we as mentors, because I know that this is an event around basketball coaching as well as life coaching.
Yeah, life.
How do we as mentors bring the balance to this new generation that is supportive, not enabling, not entitled, but pushing them and empowering them to do for themselves? Like, what are some of the keys that you hold that how you push these kids nowadays?
Number one, when I grew up, it's about discipline.
Yeah.
And we don't have that right now. It's about discipline, fearing the coach, fearing your mentor. We don't have that no more. The kids is running amok around here. You know what I mean? And until the discipline is in there, it's just gonna be ran like this, because the money is just running
Right,
crazy.
so for players, even and I know we talking about players, but a player making almost as much as the coach.
What are you gonna say?
You're not gonna respect the coach.
You're not gonna respect it, but
You done already got paid.
you got a few coaches out there that's disciplined with their programs and disciplined with their players, and they're successful. But you can't. We can't. It's gonna be, I think, a long, hard-fought battle to try to get everybody in tune. You got to know yourself.
Yeah. And that's what the 100 is about.
Yes, definitely.
We got the 100 black men, and that's our mission.
Yep. Yeah.
We got time for what? One or two more? Okay.
Can you talk about work ethic?
Oh, yeah.
Because we have some young kids that think, oh, they're all that. In high school, when they get there, they don't have work ethic.
No.
Talk about the
So
work ethic.
my work ethic in high school, I made it to NBA, played 14 years, all that. But my work ethic started at Archbishop Malloy High School. It created who I was, and it was about academically. Then it was like a program I had from 9th grade to 12th grade. It was a program, and I did my homework in the library. After school, we had practice. Then I worked out at the Lost Battalion Hall in Queens. And then I did that I did it constantly. I had to be home in the bed about 9 o'clock. And it's just about discipline. I did it over again. I did it for 4 years straight, and it was tough. Now, it's not easy, but it was tough. I see all my friends going to pool parties, video game room, but I wanted to make it. I wanted to play basketball the right way. And my coach and my mentor wasn't having it. They was like, you got to do this, you got to do this, and they stayed on me. And eventually, it got second nature. It was a norm. So it's about working out on your weaknesses, basketball wise and in school. And then one thing they told me, I went to a strong academic school in Malloy. It was all boys. It changed to girls and boys now. It's one of the best schools in America. You can check it out, Archbishop Malloy High School. And academically, they was on me. And I was, they pushed me every day academically. I had problems getting in, and I got in, then I wanted to stay in. I didn't want to have to go to prep school or anything like that. I'd be embarrassed. So I just pushed myself, and I made it. But it was really tough. My junior year was the toughest year of my life. I had Regents exams, math, English, Spanish. It was crazy. And I used to go home with migraines. I was losing hair. I don't got no hair now. But it was crazy. And I remember like it was yesterday. I had no time for nothing. And I was like the #1 player in the country my junior year. But it was like I was just so focused because I didn't want to fail out of school. That's how, that's what it was about. And that's why, I came to be who I am.
Got one in the back.
Yeah.
faith of them, appreciate that.
Yeah.
We walk the faith like that.
Yeah.
But as a person from high school, college, pro, what do you see the game has changed though? Because I just want to say, down there, you know, see, people, I think we have to say press.
Yeah. 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 It's changed, you know, fan friendly, the 3-point line, no contact. It's you know, it's more physical when I played in the NBA than now. It's like a cakewalk. I average like 18 to 20. I probably average 30. Easy. Easy.
And all the players
Yeah.
are friends.
It's
now
friend.
on
Yeah,
social
that's
media. So it's like, let me get 30.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you get 30.
Yeah.
We didn't have that. We couldn't get in touch with nobody. We just going at next.
Yeah. You had to go in the locker room or whatever, the video. Oh, that's him? Okay. This is what I got to do? I'm going at him. It's just a lot different. And 2026, it's not bad, but they got to get some type of control over it and change some of the rules if they can do it. But I don't know if they can. They will do it because it's all about money.
Yeah.
Wow.
So one of our problems with our youth is social media. And they want to get their kudos and props from people, get likes and things of that nature from people they don't even know. One of the things that I tell people all the time when we talk to them is, I think every youth should play something. Now, obviously, basketball is my love, my first love, and everybody wants to do it. It's the best sport ever. But when you play on a team, you got to rely on the person on your left, the person on your right. When these kids nowadays, if you watch AAU, they go 1-on-5 because they think that that's what it's all about. But when you play a sport and you are 100% committed, am I right? You're going to be able to lean on other people. It's not about you. We got a lot of me's that are running around. I, me. So the other day, talking about Twitter, I saw the highest paid NIL people on the men's side. We're not gonna talk about the women because we know we're near this, but I'm gonna stay on course. AJ Devasta gets $4.4 million a year. Yes, ma'am. I'll repeat, $4.4 million. Second is JT Toppin with $3 million. And then you go on down to oh boy, Jacksonville, your boy Michigan, $2.3 million. And the least amount is $1.7 million. Now we know it's not about the money. We also teach them the characteristics that make you successful in the game of basketball, the same ones that make you successful in life. Discipline, high character, respect.
High character.
And so that's where we need to start with our young and get them off of the Xbox, the PlayStation, and get them outside so that they can learn how to communicate. Our kids can't communicate well when they talk to other people. So what I implore you to continue to do, Kenny and Ben, is to get our kids from behind the Xbox, and so they can go and come in these kind of environments so they can have a conversation and put two syllables together without umming and humming and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what we need to do. I love our men. I do. I'm looking for 2026. However, we need to do more for our women, our young ladies. I'm looking for some support for our young ladies because we're some bad damn jammers. Finally, the WNBA is paying our kids, she's going to get her million and everything like that. But she's a WNBA player, and she's nowhere near a college male player. So we need to bring along our young men, but our women should not be far behind. They should be leveled up. And that's all I have.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kenny Anderson.
Thank you. Thank you.
But you were here May 2nd, challenging Kenny Anderson and Benji Burke on May 2nd in a game of horse.
Oh, horse. Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Benji Burke, Kenny Anderson,
Silver, you could.